Hello, and welcome to another segment of On Purpose. This is our podcast, and we're excited that you're here. Remember to subscribe, to like, to share, to do everything. Leave a comment, leave a thumbs up, not a thumbs down. And I'm so excited that you're hanging out with us. Again, my name is Thawana. I am your host, and this is On Purpose. So, again, we have a part 2 with an amazing young lady that we already did a segment with, but I keep my promises, people. And I said she was coming back for another segment, and we're here with Letitia. Hello. Woo! You guys can clap. Yeah. Okay, honey. She helped us with homeschooling in the last segment. She talked about embrace your ugly in the last segment. So listen, if you want to know about homeschooling, we're not going to run that back again. You're going to have to watch the previous segment, okay? But if you got any questions, you can leave them in the comments. If you have an interest, as I'm a huge advocate for homeschooling, even though my son chose, to be mainstream or whatever, I still think it's amazing. And I think for whatever reason, people are not talking about it as much anymore, but it's bigger than it's ever been. Mm-hmm. It really is. And so if you have questions, you want to ask, you want to, find out how you can get connected or whatever, she's clearly the homeschooling go-to. All right. So Letitia, she told us a little bit about herself in the last segment. And so we're going to jump right in. You talked about embrace your ugly, and you also talked a little bit about how that kind of prepared you for your faith journey that you've been in. So take it away. Tell us where you are, not where you are right now, but how this all started, and then to where you are now.
So, thank you for having me again.
Of course.
So basically, embrace your ugly had nothing to do with what you guys see now today. So It had nothing to do with the scar here, none of the facial disfigurement, anything like that. It was just life. I had been violated, molested, raped, bullied, and a bully. Life was ugly for me.
Life was lifing.
And it started young for me. These things didn't happen when I got older. This started when I was like 2, 3, if not even younger, and then it went up.
Wow.
Because I grew up in an abusive household. So my father was very abusive to my mother. My mother had me at 14, got pregnant with me at 13. So life started out for me ugly.
Out of the womb.
I didn't even get out the gate good. That's just ugly, just a mess, and here I am, And so in 2019, we moved to Belize, and me and my husband, we took the kids, and this was going to be this amazing journey, and then we came back here for the new year, and then COVID happened.
Okay.
So we could not go back, but there were things that kept happening, this was twitching, and my eye would twitch, or I would feel it just. And then I kept saying I'm losing my hearing, but I took a hearing test, and people told me I hear better out of this ear than this ear. I just didn't a whole lot. Okay, I didn't understand. I was so confused. And so in November of 2020, I had my face just would not stop twitching. And I kept saying, I see like it's drooping. And if some of you ever go back and look at old videos from 2017,
okay,
you'll notice there is a droop. Like you can see the shifting.
Wow.
And so, but I'm just like, what's really going on? I go to the hospital, literally here in Lake County, and the lady tells me, okay, this sounds like Bell's palsy. You're not feeling any pain, this, that, and the third. That's for Monday. I said, okay. She's like, listen, most people, they recover from Bell's palsy. Don't worry about it. I said, oh, okay, that's what we're going to do. Tuesday, I have a grand opening at the Lady Lake Chamber because my business is about to start back up. We're going to do this thing. And I have to go home. I go home and I tell my husband I feel a pain shoot in my face. And he's looking at me thinking I'm about to have a stroke because it was so dramatic.
Right.
I go back to the hospital because they say clearly no pain should be in your face from Bell's palsy.
Right.
And they said, we're going to do a CAT scan. Because, again, they're noticing the twitching and all this other kind of stuff. And the lady said, they do the CAT scan. She said, we see like a tumor like the size of a pea. She said, we're going to take an MRI.
Mm-hmm.
Just let us know. I get the MRI. I have to stay.
Right.
And I get the MRI, and they come in there, and they're like, no. This is not the size of a pea. The MRI shows it's like bigger. You know, it's like this. And she says, it's not cancerous. We can tell you that because of where it's sitting at. But we need to get this dealt with.
Okay.
So I was in the hospital. I did lives from the hospital and everything. Like,
because
okay.
you Letitia.
So I'm just sitting there encouraging the people. And I think in my mind, I was on a heavenly high. Because when you're in God, this is what I'm going to tell you.
Tell the people.
Things don't register the same.
Yes.
Things that should cause fear does not cause fear.
Yes.
It just produces faith.
Yes.
So to have somebody telling you this stuff, and I'm really not comprehending, I don't think, what she's saying, I didn't have time to sit and be like, oh, wait a minute. Because they were like, we need to get you to Orlando. Like, you have to go. So I stayed there for maybe 2 days, and then I was in Orlando to see a surgeon. Now, the paramedics going to pick me up. I'm talking, having a conversation. They're thrown because they're like, most of the people that go for this type of surgery, they're not talking. They're not doing anything. I talked the whole while there to Orlando. Again, this is during COVID.
Right. So
So I'm sitting up, talking. The people, when I get there, they're like, you the one with the tumor? And so I'm like, yeah, that's me. And the lady's like, we don't see them. Like, when people come in here with this,
they're not like you.
they're not like this. So now I'm looking at my husband like, I don't even know how to interpret what these people are saying. The surgeon comes in. He's like, I don't even know why they had you here this quick. This surgery can't happen overnight. This is like he said, a 12-hour surgery. He says, I don't know why they sent you here like this. Like, we have to prep for this.
Right.
He's a surgeon, so he had a little nasty attitude.
Uh-oh.
He had one.
All you surgeons, tighten up.
So the next day, he comes in, and I'm sitting there. He says, I'm just going to be honest. I can't touch this. He said, I can't. We put it before the board. So, that's when they go, the surgical board, the team, and they asking questions. Like it's a case study. And he said, if I touch it, it'll paralyze you instantly. He says, the best option I would tell you is radiation. He said, so that way they can kill it. He said, because of where it's sit, we can't touch it. So I do a live after this man that left my room, right? So
only Letitia.
I'm doing a live, encouraging the people, everything. I'm in the car. I'm talking to my husband, and it's not registering.
Did you leave the hospital at this point?
Yeah, I done left because nothing they could do. The man
right,
said nothing he could do.
Talked about
so
radiation.
I left. So he said radiation. So now after you get home, I'm talking to God. I said, okay, God, this is where we're at now. And I go to another place in Lakeland, I'm not Lakeland, Leesburg, and the guy's talking about the radiation. And I asked one simple question. I said, is this dangerous? Are there any side effects? And I didn't like his answer because he told me no. If I ask you something, more than likely I already know the answer to it. There are side effects. There are dangers to these things. You're putting something in my body that should not be there. So now I don't trust you.
Oh, wow.
So I'm having to talk with God, and I'm going on a faith walk. Now, we really finna start this faith walk, right? So I'm looking into it, changing my eating habits. I done became vegan. I've done all these things. And in 2 years, I kept trying to get another MRI. So I found another doctor because I was getting headaches. And I was like, oh, these things are hurting. I'm not going to call the man name. I almost called his name.
Uh-oh, don't do it.
Nonetheless, this man done left me. I done left the office with psychotropic drugs. And he's telling me to take this. Because by this time, my balance is off. So I can't walk straight.
Wow.
So it's getting bad. Okay. So I'm laying in my bed. And this is when me and God this is when I was like, this between you and him. I laying in my bed and my head is hurting so bad I want to cry. And I said, God, I don't want to take this. I don't even know why I want to take the medicine. I said, I do not want to take this. If it's not meant for me to take it, God, you got to take the pain away. You got to do something. All I know is I woke up. Because clearly I had fell asleep. And I woke up. And I said, Lord, I thank you. I took the medicine and put it away. And I never used it. I never had to use it. And from then on, it's like I knew this is something. This between you and him. I never went back to that doctor.
Wow.
I never took it. Never did anything. Me and my husband, we moved to Tallahassee. Now I can see a doctor. Because again, the whole time I was down here, I couldn't get in the doctor's office was moving. They ain't take the insurance.
Yes,
It was crazy.
A lot of that after
During
COVID. Yes.
I finally get to Tallahassee to see a doctor, and I begin to tell her my situation, tell her things. Me and the family, we're going. I like her. She's, and we're sitting there, we're talking, and she said, well, Tisha, I need to get you in to get an MRI. And I said, okay, let's do that. Now, I have a book signing that's going to be in June of 2022, and the book is Embrace Your Ugly. In May, I get the results back that says the tumor had doubled in size.
So, Letitia, what was the time frame between the radiation conversation versus Tallahassee?
2 years. Because all this took place in 2020. Oh, again, I didn't tell y'all that. The surgeon in Orlando said this is a slow-growing tumor, so you don't have to worry about anything, right? And don't come back until you're paralyzed, because I can't touch you. Because if I touch it, I'm going to paralyze you. So don't come back until you're paralyzed. See how you looking? That's how we was looking. So it was not, see, a lot of people get agitated and aggravated. It was not meant for him to touch me.
It was not meant for
He
him.
could not do this. He was not the one that was chosen.
You would have never, you couldn't trust him.
No, I'm chosen. And everybody can't touch me. Like, when you take on that thing, you realize that God has orchestrated everything that's going to happen in your life.
So he knows who's supposed to do this surgery.
So he was not supposed to touch me. And so she tells me, and then I go see the other surgeon. He's like preparing me. Okay, Letitia, this is what we're going to have to do. You say you see this, and I seen it. And it was big. And I was just like, my book sign is coming up. I'm thinking of all these things I got coming up. And I do my book signing. And I testify again, tell the people what's going on, what God doing, this, that, and the third. But people didn't realize I had my driving changed. I was actually preparing to have a TED Talk in September, a TEDx talk at Lake Sumner, and I couldn't do it because I couldn't walk straight. My balance was bad. I had, in July, got a brick and mortar on the 6th floor. Oh my God. Glass window. Oh, you couldn't tell me nothing.
Oh, you made it.
I was like, I'm here. And then I started declining because I couldn't drive myself like I wanted to. So I go to my doctor, and she said, okay, Letitia, we're going to get you a handicap sticker. She said, because I trust you not going to just be out here driving and shit. She said, the fact that you timed it, you know how long you can go. You know you can go and you can't go. I'm going to get your sticker. I sat in the parking lot at the DMV in Tallahassee in tears. I called my friends. I said, I'm too young to have a disability.
Nobody want that sticker.
Right. And so my friends crazy because they was like, girl, that mean you get good parking.
I got some friends like that.
They was like, why we crying again? You get good parking. You don't have to, So I'm in the parking lot crying and laughing all at the same time.
Isn't it? But just to press pause, that's why it's so important to have the right community of people around you, because they were able, one, really to make you think about, like, this ain't so bad, but two, also to kind of make you laugh in that moment.
Because again, I'm declining, and they didn't know like my balance and stuff was declining. They had no clue. Because again, I could talk through this headache. So I'm just having conversation in my head. It's like boom, and I would tell my husband, it feel like my brain is coming out my skull. It's coming through my forehead. God. That's the only way I could explain it. So 3 days before 2023, I have the worst headaches of my life. And I'm just laying in the bed. But I said, I'm not going to the doctor because I'm going to be at my friend's wedding.
You go to Tisha.
And her wedding was January the 14th. And I was like, I'm going to walk myself down the aisle. Because, again, none of us knew what this was going to look like.
Right.
So, Kate, she got married. She got married. Where was we at? I can't even remember. But we was out there. I don't want to make up a place. And I walked down the aisle. I was so happy. She was happy. We all happy. Her husband happy. All of us happy.
Yeah.
And I still didn't go to the hospital, but I'm still getting these headaches. And so I talked to my doctor, and she was like, Letitia, you're not a medicine person. And I'm not. She said, so I'm thinking the gummies will help. Like the week. She said that you can't take a whole lot of this, Letitia. She said, take this, gonna come like this. And she said, cut it in fours and take it. Now, me and God had this whole conversation. I said, now, Lord, first of all, I know drugs of any kind ain't necessarily good, but this right here got such a bad name.
Yeah.
I don't want nothing that's going to alter how I feel, but at this point, I don't know what else to do.
The pain was...
And literally, it was painful. So I took it like she told me to take it, And I just remember laying in the bed, knowing I was there, but my body was like, this don't seem, I don't know how people do this. But the headache was gone. Like, my husband was like, how you feel? I said, babe, I feel good. Right? I said, the headache is gone.
Letitia, I'm done.
I'm just at peace. So I am not. I still got them in the bag. Like, I only took that one.
Stop.
Because guilt, confusion, doubt. I was like, Lord, I don't know.
What in the world?
My headache was gone. That I can say. That headache, and it wasn't a big, it was a little piece. And the headache was gone. And I said, it almost felt wrong. You know, I had such peace. You know? I was just so finally, February comes, and it's like the 28th or the 27th of February, and I get up, I fall. I felt like all my, like, from my waist down just went out, and I'm in the living room, and then I go in the bed, and I call my husband and my kids in the room, and I'm having this conversation, and I'm telling my husband, babe, you know what, you don't know anything, you don't know the passcodes, you don't know anything about the kids, and I'm giving him instruction, and I'm talking, and my kids are there, and I call my mom, who is here in Leesburg, and I give her the same thing.
I love your mom. Hey, Mom.
Hey, Mama. And everybody is, and I'm telling them instructions. I say, Mom, if anything happened, I said, I need you to do this, 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 and this. And so my husband is like, okay, Tisha. My son, Isaiah, the middle one, who told me I wasn't no homeschool.
You ain't no teacher.
He's look at me, and he said, you're going to be okay. And he just walks out the room. Right? Like, no, nothing. Because and again, it's still not registering. I finally go, because my mom drives to come and get me. Because you was going to the ER. I ain't studying you. We going to the hospital. My mother shows up, and that next day, and we go to the hospital, and then I tell them, you know, the whole tumor situation, and I tell what happened. And the doctor comes back in, he says, I just want to thank you for coming today. And so I'm looking, he says, your brain is swollen. It's swelling. Your brain is swollen. He said that's why you feel like your brain was coming out, your skull was coming out your forehead, because your brain is swelling.
Literally.
Swelling.
And that was the feeling.
That was the feeling.
Because that's what was happening.
Wow. He says, we can't do the surgery here. We have to send you to Shands. Yeah, you're going to be here. You know, you're going to have to stay here. So I'm looking at my husband. Again, no fear. This was all God. Because you know how you listening? And it's like, it's somebody else's life, but this really is your life. Wow. And I'm in there talking. The nurses, we're all having conversations, encouraging these people, encouraging the nurses, empowering the nurses.
The coach.
Literally.
Coach Letitia, y'all.
She just talking. And they come and get me in the paramedics again, expecting to see me just out of it. Yeah. So when I get to Shands in Gainesville, the lady says, have you seen your tumor? And I said, am I not supposed to be talking or something? I said, because everybody keep asking me this question. Right. She said, you haven't seen it, have you? I said, well, I seen it, like when I went last time, you know. She said, no. And she shows it to me. And clearly, I should not have been having a conversation. Because it was, and that's what was making everything seem so heavy. And
was it on one side, Letitia?
Yeah, it's back here.
Gotcha.
And so what was happening was expanding. So I have no hearing in this ear. That happened before the surgery. Gotcha. And then when they did the surgery removed any equipment that would allow me to hear. So when I start hearing, that's all God, because He rebuilt it. So the muscles and everything that they took out, that's why you see the drooping and all that stuff. And I have a weight in my eye because I couldn't close
I remember you talking about that on a video.
And so, again, so they said, we're going to do the surgery now. And I was like, huh? She said, no, we got to remove the fluid, the pressure that's up there. And I said, okay, that was one of the first times I felt scared. They do it. That's an hour and a half. My surgeon literally... I love Dr. Cope. God bless him. He looked like Clark Kent, Superman.
Okay,
so I was
doctor.
I remember staring like, oh,
you're okay.
I remember staring like, he looked like Superman. I go in, I come out, they prepare me. You know, you're gonna have brain fog and stuff, and I did.
Yeah.
That's when it hit me that you didn't have to wake up, but you did. Like you have a purpose, you know, you have a plan. And I go home and I can barely get my words together because I have brain fog.
Right.
I'm trying to say stuff and I couldn't, and then when you at your lowest is when the enemy start talking the most, because he couldn't talk when I was going through the process. But when
you down,
now he got so much to say, and now I'm scared, and
Yes.
and then they're telling me I'm gonna have another surgery, and they're saying you gotta come back in 3 weeks, and we're gonna have to do this other surgery, and you're gonna tell us it, and I'm like, this is too much. And I said, and I had prayer warriors all on Facebook. Everybody they praying, and they binding the devil, and then the devil asked me, not the devil, God asked me, who told you this was the devil? And I was like, sir. He said, who told you that this was
the devil's doing? Yeah. Yeah. Because that's what we
been taught. Because it don't look like what we think it's supposed to look like. Because again, and God is a jealous God. So you giving praise to somebody ain't got nothing to do with this. And so I had to tell the people, stop saying, listen, y'all get me in trouble. He said, the devil ain't telling him, the devil ain't got nothing to do with this. So again, everybody, we doing praises. March 28th, 2023, I have a 16-hour brain surgery.
16 hours.
They prepared me for a trachea and in-house rehab, because most people have to have a trachea and in-house rehab. I opened up my eyes, saw my mama walking through the door, and I said, I'm hungry. Because I'm greedy. I am. So my mom was staring at me. I'm staring at her like, lady, what's wrong with you?
Get me something to eat.
Let me get the nurse. So she go get the nurse, and the nurse coming there, she was like, she's looking, she's like, so I said, I told my mama I want something to eat, and she stops.
Stop right now. Who talking after 16 hours of brain surgery?
Me with my greedy self.
Me, her greedy self. Because she just was out for 16 hours, so all she can think about is something to eat.
Something to eat. And then that, when you go through something like that, that automatically brings you closer to God.
Yeah.
Like, I know what it feels like when they say that peace that surpasses all understanding.
You know what that feels like.
I know what that is. When I say, when the Bible say, you know how had a dream, and he said, if you have a dream, the same dream twice, it shall surely come to pass. I know what it's like to have the same dream twice, that I was coming out of surgery, and my husband have the same exact dream I have the same night.
Wow.
He said, I can't explain it. I said, I couldn't. I said, but God letting us know that he got us. That he got me. I said, I don't know what this look like. I don't even know what this journey gonna look like, because it never dawned on me that I was gonna lose my hair. I didn't take chemo. I took radiation.
Right.
Radiation is what caused the patches and stuff. My hair was starting to fall out because after the surgery, they were telling me the tumor was swelling. The one thing that God asked me, and people say, how did your walk get so strong in God? Because again, I grew up in the church. Both my grandfathers were pastors, so I knew God, but I didn't know God.
You didn't know God.
I didn't know that one that my grandma used to talk about. I didn't know that way maker, that healer. I didn't know him. I seen him and I knew of him.
Wow.
But to actually embrace him, to hold him, to have him say, I got you, that catapulted me.
Yeah.
And he wasn't talking a whole lot. He was saying little stuff like, I need you to be transparent. Well, what does that mean, sir?
Wow.
So I know what it's like to get up and do a live and encourage people, and then turn the live off and feel so sad and darkened. Because it wasn't for them to see that. They had to see him. And he was still working on me. But I was being obedient, and he was still working on me. He said, because after a while, you're going to have that joy.
Yeah. You kept getting up doing the work, even though the work wasn't complete in you. You kept getting up. So, Letitia, where are you now? Like, because if you don't follow her lives, like, to see God's healing hand on Letitia is physically evident, people. I'm telling you, like look her up on Facebook and go back to post surgery. And what I enjoy the most is her testimonial videos, when she realizes that she can do something that she wasn't able to do. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, the excitement that she gives off is like a kid at Christmas.
That's what it feels like. I'm getting a gift.
Yes, because, and she'll tell you like, I know y'all see it. I know y'all can.
Y'all gonna get this miracle. Because I don't think people understand. Like, mom literally was over here. I'm not being exaggerative.
No, she's telling the truth.
And then now to see this, to see it line up, to actually feel this.
It's crazy.
It's like, or to be able to blow. Like,
that was one of the videos that got me, like, and to see that, and because I hadn't seen you in person in a little while, and so when we met up and just talking to you, like, it was clear that the healing transformation, it's undeniable.
It's undeniable.
You absolutely cannot deny it. And what I love about her is you are walking in it, Letitia, as if it is done.
That's
you
right.
didn't stop doing, encouraging, pushing, and you did it when it wasn't comfortable for you. You did it, and then like you said, turn that live off and sit there and
he let me have that moment.
Yeah.
Like, he let me know he was there. Like, that was my honest moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I did it, Daddy. But
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I'm telling him to trust you, but I don't know if I trust you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, and that's when he be like, that's when I noticed he was like holding me and hugging
Mm-hmm.
me. So that way now when I do it, it don't feel like I'm an imposter.
Yeah.
I'm standing in it.
These imposters, man.
Because I don't want that. I want
Yeah.
it to be. And then so he started correcting my verbiage. So it was like, you know how I be like, my miracle. No, this is his miracle. This ain't, I'm just an example.
Because he not sharing nothing.
He don't know. Because, you know, because what I realized was like, oh, my miracle on the way. No, it's his miracle.
God's
Because
miracle.
he's performing it.
Yes.
You just being obedient.
Yeah. You just a vessel he's
That's
doing
it.
it through.
He
That's
chose
it.
you. You didn't choose him. That's what the word of God say.
Oh my gosh. Y'all, I share good stuff with y'all. Y'all can stop playing. I share good stuff with y'all. Letitia, so tell us, we have a few minutes left. Tell us what you're doing right now. What are you working on right now?
So March 29th, I'm having a Denim and Pearls, and it's called The Ugly Conversation Continue, because I did an ugly dinner conversation. And then that's March the 29th. That's coming up, and that's a Saturday. And then I'm working on...
Where?
It's going to be at Morrison's.
Okay.
In Leesburg.
Okay, so how do people need to register to
actually,
come?
that one is sold out.
Okay.
That one is full. That one is full, y'all. I'm
we
sorry.
missed it, y'all, even me.
But I'm doing another one. And it's called His and Her, The Ugly Conversation Continued, The Truth and the Trauma. And it's for men and women.
Oh, wow.
And this is going to be free as well.
Where?
It's going to be at the Morrison.
Okay.
It's August 9th. It's my date, but we still working on time and
Got
all that
it.
kind of stuff.
Okay.
Because that's what we mess up at. A lot of men have truth and trauma. And people don't want to deal with the fact that men have trauma. And my truth is my trauma. Like, the truth is I was raped.
Yeah.
The trauma is I was raped.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But most of us are led by our trauma instead of being led by the truth, because Jesus said, I am the way, the truth. And you get what I'm saying? The empowerment is in the truth.
Yo. Wow. This is good stuff. Okay, listen. This is Letitia, y'all. Like, follow me so you can follow her. Thank you so much. You'll definitely see her again. Thank you so much for the transparency and the honesty, because that is what people want. People don't want fluff. They want transparency, truth, honesty. They want to see that the fruit is falling from your tree and it's not just a talk. So I love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you for having me.
Yes. Again, guys, subscribe so you never miss anything this good. I am Thawana. This is On Purpose. And remember, whatever you do it on purpose. Yes.